Madam Chair, Commissioner Chester, members of the board, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you this morning. First, I want to thank the Commissioner, the Charter School Office, and particularly Allison Bagg and Marlon Davis, who led the most recent site visit. The extensive documentation, interviews, and classroom observation resulted in a report that we believe to be an accurate representation of the school's development at this point. Collectively, you see where we are, recognizing both the significant challenges and achievements of the past year and those still before us, particularly in the areas of financial viability, special education, and achievement as defined by the first MCAS results. While the Commissioner correctly identifies that many of these are common to charter schools at this point in their development, they are serious nonetheless, and we take them that way. When the GCA founders chose to start a charter school with students in grades 4 through 7, they took on the enormous challenge of starting with students who have already spent years in other schools. 29% of GCA students had IEPs last year, nearly 50% more than the average for Gloucester Public Schools. 44% qualified for free lunch. Not surprisingly, these statistics are in keeping with the most challenged school and school population in the city of Gloucester. This school is the one from which GCA draws most of our students. In that school, grades 4 and 5 showed proficiency scores below 25% and had posted scores below the 10% mark just a year ago. It has been identified as an area of major focus for the new superintendent. We take this challenge seriously. All students have been assessed to identify where there are gaps, particularly in mathematics, and remediation work in both mathematics and ELA have been started. The school has committed significant funds to professional development, providing a 2-week intensive program on differentiating instruction with Dr. Annette Sullivan, Dean of the School of Education for Fitchburg State. We have also hired a literacy coordinator to work with teachers on the development of approaches to developing basic skills in these students who clearly don't have them. Special education is an area of major focus for us. Since May, the school has more than doubled the special education staffing and completely restructured the department, hiring a new director of special education who brings deep experience in school systems and at the DESE. His knowledge of state requirements has already proved invaluable. The school added the position of literacy coordinator and planned and delivered a successful summer program as part of the compensatory service plan, and all IEPs are current and signed. Financial viability measured by enrollment and responsible financial management is a challenge for most, if not all, charters. Last year, the school's enrollment went from 90 just weeks before opening to 64 on opening day, resulting in a 30% loss in the bottom line. Although the charter called for an administrative team that included an executive director, a director of education, a full-time executive assistant, and both a director of students, families, and community and a director of special education, the downturn in enrollment ultimately reduced the administration to 2, the executive director and a half-time director of special education. By February, the need for increased support in special education had to be responded to. The only places to turn, with only 5 academic teachers, was to lay off the office manager and the director of arts integration, to direct the maximum funds available to the provision of effective SPED program delivery. The support from the school's Visiting Artist Series, which brought 28 artists into the school, limited the impact of these changes, and in the independent whole school review, which happened over a week, I might add, in terms of classroom visits, not one day, indicated that arts were integrated in learning in 70% of the classrooms visited. The impact was so little that 100% of families eligible to return pre-enrolled, and 87% of parent-family respondents indicated their students were excited about learning and were being appropriately challenged. This fall, although enrollment more than doubled from last year, it was still significantly below our pre-enrollment. We responded immediately, creating a new budget that maintained all teaching and support staff and required no reduction in program or student support, prompting the Gloucester Daily Times to write, "With each hurdle, the charter school has continued to revamp its business model, and to that end, the school leaders deserve credit for taking efficient and necessary action." Enrollment has more than doubled. The school moved into a fully renovated 23,000 square foot school building only 2 months after opening. Everyone who visited, from executive directors, board members, and other charter site visitors, have found the facility truly extraordinary and one that many charters wait over a decade to see. Faithfulness to the charter and the mission is an area of increasing importance for all schools. To that end, we have hired an experienced head of school with over 30 years working in both public and private schools in New York City and in Massachusetts. We have hired the new Director of Arts Integration, Shay Cajolet, who is an accomplished artist with her work exhibited on 3 continents. She has taught art for 17 years and worked extensively with Dr. Lois Hetland of Mass College of Art and Project Zero of Harvard University. The Visiting Artist Series, as I mentioned before, started in February, brought nearly 30 visiting artists to the school for demonstrations and workshops. The program has provided students with an invaluable window into the arts and different possible career options. A partnership is being developed with the Annie, the local theater in Gloucester. GCA students are building sets and props and acting in performances. As for in the past month, the school has been the #1 school in the state of Massachusetts on Artsonia, the largest online art museum for children, with over 1,800 individuals of art on display. I encourage you to take a look at them. They are truly extraordinary. We have reached out to the community, founding the Gloucester Community Children's Choir, open to all children in Gloucester and the greater Cape Ann community.
We're short on time. Tony, I apologize for having to ask you to wrap up your comments.
The board has expanded through the year, bringing on new members with essential skills in education, education administration, finance, law, and special education. And with the addition of Aaron Chalufo, has added a trustee with 17 years experience in public sector management and essential skills in public bidding, municipal, state, and federal permitting, public purchasing, and construction management. The board is also committed to and has had a full day's retreat with John Tarvin on governance and management issues. As we look to our second year, we do so from a position of increasing strength and stability. With double the enrollment of last year, the resources needed to deliver the program envisioned by the charter are finally available. In over a year, we have doubled the student body and tripled the faculty. Our primary focus has been to put the right people on the bus in the right seats, and for only 4 months have we actually had the staff to deliver the program envisioned.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Appreciate your comments today.